All right, Jared. Here we go. We're back.
Let's let it rip, huh?
We're letting it rip on the episode 4 of the Old Phenomenal Fan podcast. We are here. We are live on Twitch. For those of you who've chosen to join us on there, for those of you who are listening on the podcast, be sure to tune in on Twitch because we go live. Try to go live every Sunday night. If we don't, it's usually early in the week, middle of the week.
It'll have to kind of just vary on
the
like
sports schedule.
what the season looks like for sports, or like what season we're in.
Exactly.
So baseball might be a little bit different. So
Yeah. I mean, we'll go whatever we feel like, but
we'll do whatever we want.
Yes, because we run the show. So, crazy day for sports. Obviously, you have the NFL, right? Crazy. The other games that we will definitely not be covering, but Team USA Soccer played in a little U.S. World Cup qualifying match today against Canada. Got their tits whacked around, lost 2-0 against Canada, so that's not ideal because we're always rooting for the country, the Proud Boys. But we that's the thing though. It's like everyone wants to talk about USA Soccer not being that good. It's like, hey man, we play fucking other sports. Like you know what? If you want us to take all of our sports, all of our best athletes, and shove them into one sport, we will slaughter the world, dude. You want LeBron James in the goal? Get the fuck out of here. You want Tyreek Hill running out there at whatever the forward or wing, whatever. I don't even know the positions. I don't even know. But I'm just saying, it's like you want to talk shit about the USA Soccer something. It's like, yes, because we don't give a fuck. No one cares about soccer. No one watches soccer. No,
and people that do, they're full of shit. They get into a couple of like those big Euro League, teams, and they love to chat about it, But it's like they don't really know shit.
Yeah. Well, I had this debate with actually some people I was with last night. And again, we're just starting this podcast off and we'll get into all the action. But I was with some people last night and they're big soccer people. So I was trying to chat them up about soccer and I was like, I mean, I'm a little bit on top of it. I'm like, fuck, big game for USA. Like they missed the World Cup the last time the USA was able to qualify. Like they missed the World Cup. And like, you and I and like people who, fans like us, people probably listen to the podcast, watch it on Twitch, whatever it may be. They probably didn't really bat a whole lot of eyelashes at it. They didn't really care too much because it's like, oh, they missed the World Cup. Okay, cool. Who's playing on Sunday? Like who's playing NFL? Like no one gives a fuck. But to your point, and this is what I said to these guys that I was talking to last night. I'm like, how does a country like the United States of America miss the World Cup? Like how the fuck does that happen? And they're like, well, it's low on the list. It's low on the totem pole. I'm like, I get it. But I feel like our D-list athletes should still be good enough to hang with the fucking El Salvadors and the fucking Guatemalas of the country. You know what I mean? Like, or of the world, I should say. Should be able to hang at least. But to your point, I mean, if you assembled an 11-man roster of soccer players and you put LeBron James, Mike Trout, Patrick Mahomes, seriously, I mean, we would shit on everybody.
Well, you would have to go through. You'd have to pick. I mean, that's a tough comparison because who's to say Patrick Mahomes would be a great at soccer? But I'm saying in terms of athleticism, I think about what would Adrian Peterson have been like on the soccer field?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
100%.
You come up and try to bump him to take the ball, and he's just gonna hit you with his ass, and you go fucking flying.
100%.
Andy's faster than you.
100%.
Bigger and strong, and then he learns how to kick from a young age, and that ball fucking pops. He compresses down, and they do one of the slow mos. It's like one of those oddly satisfying videos where it just goes down to about that big, and then it just goes.
And that ball
knocks the fucking 5'9", 147-pound goalie on his ass.
And then you got guys. I mean, we've talked about him before, but you put Deebo Samuel on a soccer field. I mean, that guy just runs everybody over. Dude, he's just
Did today prove the point more? Did today prove my point more? Did he Tyreek had a good game too. Tyreek had a good game, but he was like a quick, fast receiver. He wasn't as explosive. When Debo fucking caught that little like screen and it looked like he was just gonna get bottled up at the sideline and took it to the crib,
40 yards.
Like, oh yeah. And then like also like here's the best comparison, or here's like the best like argument I have right now is how about the Chiefs losing the game by a field goal and like that play right before half where Tyreek caught the ball and just got fucking punked by Eli Apple.
He did.
Yeah, Debo doesn't get. I mean, Debo might get tackled, but Debo ain't getting punked.
I agree. He ain't
that.
getting thrown down by Eli Apple.
Dude, and Eli Apple threw him down and like was like sitting up like he looked like he was about to walk into a restaurant. You know, like that's how casual he looked.
Fucking cocked his shoulders back.
Yeah, and like I don't want to hate on Tyreek Hill because obviously Tyreek Hill is a fucking badass, but like today was like, oh, okay, if you disagreed with that one before, go and see what like Debo had those carries today where it was it looked like there was nothing there and he just turned it into fucking 10 yards.
Oh yeah, he's a beast. Yeah, he's a fucking beast. Yeah. So it's a good transition, Jared. It's a good transition to the games of the day, right? The games that we've been playing, we've been watching. The
transition.
Yeah,
are you watching? Are you drinking?
The transition. The transition.
A transitionizer.
The transition. The great transition.
There you go.
To the sport that actually matters, and the sport that these other countries don't have.
The real football.
Yeah, football. American, hard-nosed, pad-strapped, helmet-wearing, bone-crunching football.
Lunch pail. Fucking, we're getting in there. We're grinding. We're getting first downs. We're getting touchdowns.
Smelling salts in Talladega, like football. We're playing football.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we got AFC Championship.
Chiefs-Bengals.
Chiefs-Bengals.
It's Bengals at Chiefs in Arrowhead.
In Kansas City, at the home stadium for the Kansas City Chiefs, Arrowhead. Arguably,
Joe Burrow, he must be like a vet, right? If he's going to go in there and win, like he's got to have like at least 8 years experience.
Okay,
right?
so
not like a rookie year where he was injured the entire
before
year.
we even dive into this game, let's dive into, and it's in relation to this game, but that's got to be the most hostile environment in maybe not even American sports, but like all of the world's, like asking a 24, whatever Joe Burrow is, 24, 25-year-old kid to go in there, call plays, coordinate a group of 11 grown men to execute on a consistent basis. You know, you talk about in the NFL, right? When they're at their peak, the Seahawks stadium, obviously very hostile. Pittsburgh, maybe. You want to, you know, there's a couple others that you could talk about. A lot of them have some fair weathers, you know.
Well, the Seahawks, the 12, the 12 really came out of the fucking woodworks when they started. When Russell started taking them to the Super Bowls. All of a sudden, they were 12. These guys would buy Seahawks hats, those ones with the stupid hair.
The bird, yeah.
They'd buy it that day, and then they'd be yelling in the street.
They bought it at the tailgate.
And it's just like, oh, fuck off, dude. You weren't even a fan last year.
Yeah, but you know, you don't even have to go into the NFL. You can talk about college, man. Like earlier this year, I probably maybe I mentioned on the podcast, maybe not. Super duper bandwagon Alabama fan. Went to Texas A&M, watched a game there with 112,000 people. Dude, the point is there is hostile environments all over this country, and Kansas City has got to be in the top, probably the top 5.
Especially in the NFL.
In the NFL, like, it's probably one.
Because NFL is a little bit weird, where it's like you get the real school pride coming out, where you'll get like college. I would say college football environments are probably the most hostile,
similar.
To be honest, you know, you'll get some rowdy NFL ones. I'm sure like the Bill, like I don't know if the Bills obviously have a crazy fan base. I don't know if they're like super loud when you're in the stadium, but the Chiefs are definitely one of those. That's definitely one of those teams, and you can just tell when you're even watching the game on TV. You're like, oh, it's fucking loud there.
Yes,
like it's loud, and it feels like they're on the field.
Oh, and that's you know, fuck. We could spend probably a whole episode talking about this, but like the architectural design of the stadiums has so much to do with how loud it is. Like I'm at Texas A&M. Stadium's very vertical, right? Seattle, same way, like super, super vertical, high, straight up in the air, but on top. And Kansas City's very similar, where it's like 3 levels, bowl-shaped, hostile environment, and you got an AFC Championship game there. And I think all of that plays into the fact that there's a reason why up until today, Patrick Mahomes had never lost a game at home in the playoffs. And he was always a top seed, usually hosting games. The only game he lost there, I thought I heard that stat before, but now that I'm starting to think about it, he lost to Tom Brady in the AFC Championship. So maybe he lost the one game, but everywhere else,
No,
he lost to Tom Brady in Arrowhead.
Was that the last time? Was that like the year that the Patriots played the Rams in the Super Bowl and it was boring as shit?
I believe so.
It have to be, right? Because otherwise Tom went over to Tampa.
Yeah, Patriots.
Like, obviously like Tom beat him in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was January.
Year.
Yeah, it was January 2019, and the Patriots won in overtime. They won on a touchdown, like a walk-off touchdown.
They went and they played the Rams, and it was that horrible Super Bowl, like one of the worst ever. And there was like, no, it never even once got entertaining.
Yeah, let me see. It was like 2019,
10-3 or some shit.
Yeah, 2019 to 2020 Super Bowl.
It had to have been Pats Rams.
Oh no, it was January. Okay, so let's see. 2019 Super Bowl. 2019 Super Bowl was Pats Rams 13-3. 13-3.
Yeah. It's fucking boring as shit.
Horrible game. Yeah, horrible game. Right? I mean, unless you bet the under, I guess. But
and the Pats scored the 10 of those points in the fourth quarter. So that like it was 3-3 going into the fourth. That's got to go down as one of the worst Super Bowls ever.
Horrible. But hey, it's one of Tom Brady's fucking 7 Super Bowls, whatever.
Anyway, okay, so he had lost one time.
He lost one time.
But were the Patriots home?
No, it was at that's what I was saying, at home. Mahomes had only lost one playoff game at home in his career, and it was to Tom Brady. Like what the fuck else are you going to do? You know what I mean? So they lost to Tom Brady. And the only other quarterback to claim that he's beaten Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City in a playoff game is Joe Burrow. Tom Brady, Joe Burrow are the only quarterbacks.
Joe Burrow is so fucking cool, by the way. He just walks in. Did you see his pregame outfit?
Oh my god.
Dude, he just walks in with a turtleneck, looking cool as shit. He's got that JB chain on with the ice on it. It's all diamond. Did you see the interview after the game?
No, I saw it. No, everybody saw it.
You see the presser after the game? He's
got the black turtleneck on.
Yeah, but did you see the press conference after the game?
I didn't hear what he said, but I saw the black turtleneck with the chain necklace, and was it like a Nike?
It looked like, I think it was a Nike. I know. It says JB9. I think is all it said. It says JB9. It's got diamonds on it, which is cool as shit because it's like it's cool when you're winning, right? So he walks into the stadium, but then post game, people saw it or whatever, and then the internet like reacted to it. So post game, one of the reporters goes, "Hey, are the diamonds on that chain real?" And Joe Burrow said like a fucking like it's cool because he's young and he's such a stud. He goes, "Yeah, I make a little bit too much money to be wearing fake ones." And I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah, Joe!"
It's so good, dude. Oh, it's so good. So we haven't even really broken the whole thing down.
Let's dive into the game.
So the Bengals,
because they came out fucking flat. It looks bad.
Flat. And if you want to go box score or play by play, whatever you want to say, Bengals win the toss. I don't know if they won the toss, but they get the first
football
possession.
They deferred, whatever. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
I don't know. The Chiefs might have won the toss and deferred to the second half.
Yeah, exactly.
Bengals get the ball first. 3-play, 3-and-out, punt. Chiefs get the ball. 11 plays, 84 yards. Mahomes scrambles around, slings a ball sidearm to the back corner. Tyreek Hill, touchdown. Okay, that's the Chiefs. It's going to happen, right? And you look around, 7-0 Chiefs. well, the Bengals aren't out of this game. Get the ball back. Go score a touchdown.
They got a high-powered offense, right? So like,
High-powered
no one
offense.
thinks they're out. No one thinks they're out of it yet.
Exactly. Bengals put together, they get the ball back, put together a 14-play drive, and I believe if it wasn't on the first possession, I think it was that second possession. Burrow dropped out. No, it was the second possession. Runs about 5 or 6 plays. Incomplete pass in tight coverage to CJ Uzama. Star tight end. I mean, really is a star. He's going to be a star, especially with a guy like Joe Burrow. Injured on the play. I don't know if we know the official injury, whether it's like a knee or an ankle.
It was a knee. It was a knee for sure.
But I don't know if we know if it's like ACL, right?
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if it was a tear or what it was.
Right. So like, I mean, maybe he's available. Who knows? But CJ Uzama going down it's almost equivalent. Not that he's as good as Travis Kelce, but it's their version of Travis Kelce going down.
It's the number 3 passing option for sure.
Exactly. And probably the number 1 or number 2 for the Chiefs, right? Travis Kelce. But the point is, like, it's a big loss. And so Uzama goes down. Bengals get a field goal out of it, so it's 7-3. Chiefs get the ball back, 7 plays, 75-yard touchdown. And this one's again, dude. Patrick Mahomes gets the fucking snap, scrambles around, lob pass to fucking Kelce in the end zone. Touchdown Chiefs again. 14-3. So you're sitting there watching the game. Oh, that's the fucking Chiefs. It's what they do. Mahomes scrambles around, runs around like a fucking chicken with his head cut off, lobs the ball up, and you got a guy to fucking make a play.
And he could throw, and not to mention, he could have 6 guys and right here, and he has an arm angle for every slot. You could have hands everywhere, and he could just go.
And he could go over the top, sidearm.
Like a clock.
Dude, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So
anyway, yeah. So he throws that touchdown.
He throws a touchdown to Kelce, and then Bengals get the ball back. 5 plays, punt. Now it's 14-3. Chiefs get the ball back. 8 plays, 72 yards. Patrick Mahomes goes down the field again, finds Mecole Hardman, fucking touchdown, 21-3.
I feel like it's about to be a blowout.
This game's over.
It's done. The Chiefs might win. They might win 42-10, and the Bengals look like frauds, and that's what everyone was thinking.
21-3.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you might get like everyone was kind of thinking that though, because they hadn't moved the ball yet. They hadn't moved the ball once yet. They'd been fucking getting stuck. They lost their tight end. The Chiefs are just motorboating them, just having their way with them. You know,
they really are. No, they really are.
They really are. They're just like, and you're like, damn, like the Chiefs are really like. They're those dudes, like, for sure. Like, especially they just did this to the number of defense. Everyone was thinking, you know, the Bengals were kind of hot for a second, and now like you've completely taken the faith out of all Bengals fans, and you could see the Chiefs fans in the stadium getting fucking rowdy. Dude. They've been so spoiled the last 5 years with Mahomes already. So they're all dancing, you know, like having a good time up in the stands. Like, this is so stupid and easy, and everyone watching on TV was like, "Fuck, the Chiefs are about to spank that ass."
And get to the Super Bowl.
Joey's gonna have to mature for a couple more years before he's able to get back here.
And we sent out a tweet. I sent out a tweet from the Phenomenal Fan Twitter account. For those of you who don't follow, check us out. And I sent it, I think, a little bit later in the game, but the point stands for the whole game. And the point was, you know, good for the Bengals either way. You know, because if they show up in this game, they get spanked. Everyone's expecting them to get spanked. I mean, a 7-point spread in an AFC Championship game is such a huge spread, and it's at Kansas City. Like, there's just, it sounds bad to say, but there isn't really that much expectation. Like, you don't expect the Bengals to win this game. So the Chiefs score a touchdown. It's 21-3. Bengals get the ball back. 7-play drive, 70-yard touchdown drive on a Samaje Perine 41-yard screen pass, basically, checks it down, and Perine breaks it off, and they score a touchdown.
He looked incredibly fast on that.
He looked like he should be the number 1 back. No disrespect to Joe Mixon, but I mean,
you know, do you want to know what's funny? I don't know if you know this. Joe Mixon was Perine's backup at Oklahoma.
Really?
Yeah, before Mixon was the starter. And Samaj Pirine has the all-time best rushing record game for the Sooners ever. He ran for 467 yards and 6 touchdowns in a college football game.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but isn't that funny? Because
No, I believe it.
I was watching the game. I heard them say something. I had to actually double check on the stats. I was like, Pirine? And then my buddy Sam, he's a big Oklahoma fan. I was watching the game with him. He's like, yeah, dude, he was the starter in front of Mixon at Oklahoma. So it is funny when you laugh at it because you're like, Joe Mixon's got the big contract and he's the big name. Pirines always just been like kind of a third down back type of guy. And he busts that touchdown, but like that just tells you the caliber of the players in the NFL.
100%.
This guy ran for 467 yards in a college football game.
100%.
Oh, and nobody knows his name. So
yeah. And he breaks off a 41-yard screen pass touchdown. So now you're the Bengals fans, 21-10, right? You get a little energy back, right? 21-10. Okay. And you start thinking about it, right? Of course, throughout the game, and I'm an impartial guy. I don't care one way or the other. I think my pick was officially Chiefs by 7 to cover the spread. But I want Joe Burrow. I want a good game. I want it to be a close game. But you start doing the math, and they score, 1:05 left, and I looked to my buddy that I was with, and I said, I'm telling you right now, Chiefs are going to score a touchdown. They're going to get the ball back, and they're going to score a touchdown. And if they score a touchdown here, they're getting the ball back at half. They score here, this game's over because they're going to score. It's going to be 28-10. They're going to get the ball back. They're going to score again. It's going to be 35-10. And then, like you said, that's the score you predict, right? 42-10, like some blowout bullshit. So the Chiefs get the ball back with 1:05. And sure enough, Mahomes, 2nd and 10, 33-yard pass to Tyreek Hill over the middle. Boom. Another shotgun pass, Tyreek Hill, 14 yards. Timeout, Kansas City. Short pass. It says short pass listed on the game cast here. Pass short middle for 25 yards or whatever to Travis Kelce. Like, it's ridiculous. There's chunk. Byron Pringle, short pass. Timeout, Kansas City. 13 seconds left. 1st and 10.
We all know what they can do with 13 seconds. We all know
what they can do with 13 seconds left on their own fucking 13-yard line. They're on Cincinnati's 15-yard line. So obviously, at the absolute minimum, with the 21-10 game, we're walking out at half 24-10. That's the absolute minimum we're going to walk away with. Mahomes drops back, 4-second play, incomplete, Tyreek Hill. Penalty on Eli Apple, who, by the way, he made the tackle, and we'll get into that, and we talked about it already. For the most part, Eli Apple is just not that good at cornerback for the Bengals. He has had a tough career. He started with the Giants. He comes out of Ohio State. He just hasn't been the guy that I think everybody expected him to be. But to his credit, incomplete pass, he gets the penalty. 1st and goal from the 1-yard line with 9 seconds left because Eli Apple committed the penalty in the end zone. With 9 seconds left, Mahomes drops, 4 seconds run off, throws an incomplete pass. He then drops back, looks around, surveys the field with 5 seconds left, and then checks it down, like we mentioned, to Tyreek Hill. Checks it down in the flat, and to his credit, Eli Apple rallies to the football, throws Tyreek Hill down, gets tackled at the 1-yard line for no gain, and the clock runs out. And the Kansas City Chiefs don't get any points out of that drive. And you may disagree with me, Jared, but I think that play decided if the Bengals were going to be in the game for the rest of the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%, because that's where all the momentum was. Because if they score there and they get the ball back, they basically know that it's do or die. It's do or die time for the Bengals. The Bengals have to get into desperation mode,
right?
And nobody wants to play in that mode. So, but like that stop basically made it like, okay, like we're in this game. Like,
and we can't stop them.
Yeah, we can stop them. We're not going into the locker room with our heads down,
Exactly.
thinking, hey, we can stay. Our coach has to give us this fucking motivational speech about how the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and like how
Yeah.
our first step is getting a stop, some bullshit like that, and all the players kind of believe it, but they're like, fuck, we just got scored on 4 times in the first half. We're
Yeah.
not stopping shit.
Yeah. 100%.
So that stop 100% changed all of the tempo of the game, like the whole momentum of the game. Just it felt
Everything.
like it gave the Bengals defense the confidence too.
100%. And it showed, right? Because we dive into the second half here. Going to halftime, Bengals got a little momentum. They kick off to Kansas City. Kansas City runs a 5-play drive, and they punt. They get 16 yards. Bengals get the ball back, and you're thinking, okay, now it's the Bengals' turn. Maybe they can score. They punt. Give the ball back to Kansas City. 5-play drive, 17 yards. Punt again. So now you're thinking, if you're a Bengals fan, if we could just put some points on the board for the rest of the game, every time we touch the ball, whether it's a field goal, touchdown, we're going to be in the game. Because we've stopped them now 3 consecutive drives with 0 points. The Kansas City Chiefs, like that is such a hard... The Bengals couldn't do that last week, and they were the number 1 defense in the NFL coming into that game. So the Bengals get the ball back, 11-play drive, 52 yards. They kick a field goal to make it a 21-13 game. And you don't love the field goal, but you think 8-point game, they get the ball back. They could go for 2 or not, make it 21-20 or tie it at 21. Whatever, they're in this game. Kick off to Kansas City. Run up the middle for 7 yards. Patrick Mahomes takes the second down and 3 snap, intended as a screen pass for Demarcus Robinson. And the pass is intercepted by a defensive lineman on the Cincinnati Bengals, tips the ball, catches it on his own, and turns the ball over. If you're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, you have to get turnovers. You have to get turnovers. And they did. They get the turnover. And not only that, they get the turnover in enemy territory. The Bengals get the ball back, score a touchdown on a 5-play drive. And of course, Joe Burrow drops back, just lobs the ball up to Jamar Chase, and 50-50 ball, and he just pulls it in. Like almost easy. Keeps his feet in, no problem. Touchdown. Then they go for 2 because they're down 21-19. And they got a guy wide open in the flat, 2-point conversion. And they are tied with the Kansas City Chiefs with 1:13 left. Or 2 minutes left in the third quarter. And again, at this point, win or lose, you don't love to hear this or want to think this as a Bengals fan, but like, what a great showing, right? 21-21 and late in the third quarter. That's like almost all you can ask for, especially with the spread and everything going on. And I can't believe, man, the Bengals defense, they kick it back to Kansas City. Kansas City, 3 plays, -2 yards. Incompletion, 7-yard pass, 9-yard sack. And they punt it away again to Kansas City. Kansas City punts it away to the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Bengals, at this point, you're like, they are like not only in this game, they might win the football game. And I think, Jared, the play or the thought that I saw on this play, first play, the Bengals get the ball. Joe Burrow takes the snap, rolls out left, throws a pass to Jamar Chase. It's behind him, and it's intercepted by Kansas City. And I was like, no, like that is the like worst case scenario. Like that is the last thing you want to do is throw a pick, man. Like, and I know interceptions happen, but like, man, you can't give this team that momentum swing. You can't give it to them. Even as good as your defense is playing, you can't throw a pick. And he throws the pick, and it's the start of the fourth quarter, right? There's a lot of time left, but it's like, man, Now, again, we've said it a million times. This is when the Chiefs are going to roll. They're going to score a touchdown, kick the ball away, force the ball, another turnover or another punt, score another touchdown. Like, you just thought it's over. Credit to the fucking Bengals defense, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. I think that's the thing is like all year long, nobody's given the Bengals defense any type of like real credit because they don't really have. They have that one. What's his name? He's like the defensive lineman that had like 13 sacks this year.
Yeah, they have a lot of guys up front.
Yeah, they have some good guys up front, but like nobody talks about anybody on the Bengals defense. There's not like a guy like that you would compare to like think about on the Chiefs. You can name like Chris Jones, Frank Clark, Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah, like stars.
There's guys that you can name like star players. But if you look at the Bengals D, it's like nobody talks about those guys. Those guys get no FaceTime, no coverage on any type of like media outlet, really.
100%.
So for them to like stand up, it's like I don't think anybody expected that, especially not against that team.
100%. So the Bengals throw a pick. Chiefs get the ball back and a 3-play, -4 yard, 3-and-out. And now it's a 21-21 game. Bengals get the ball, 11-play drive, get into field goal range, and I think, he hits the game winner, which was I don't want to say easy kick because no kicks, period, in the NFL are easy, especially at Arrowhead. But my God, Evan McPherson, the fucking kicker for the Bengals, he is just ice water, nails. Like, dude, he is so fucking good. He is so good.
He doesn't look like it doesn't look like his brain has that like sense of like how big a moment is.
No.
It just kind of looks like he knows what he can do. He's like, I can kick the fuck out of a football. Like I heard like a cool story that like I don't know when they were playing the Titans and he had that 55-yarder.
Last week.
Yeah, like did you hear that he like went up to their coach? It was like, looks like we're going to the AFC Championship.
Dude, like, what a fucking gangster. What a gangster, dude. They're like, all right, dude, I guess. So cool. And they're like, yeah, we're kicking it. We're going to kick it to win. And McPherson goes to Burrow and the coach and goes, well, boys, I'll see you in the AFC Championship. And then runs out on the field and buries a field goal. Like, dude, as a rookie.
He hits them so true. It's crazy. He like the field goal that he makes in the game, that 52-yarder
that's what he hit, 52-yarder to give him the lead. That's the drive we're talking about.
So that one, right? So that one was the closest one to missing, and it still had like 4 feet, and everything else was literally like it looked like you used you took a camera and took a picture and then used like a grid and then you just sliced it right in half because that's like where all of them went
with 30 yards easy on every play. Yeah.
Right down the middle, and with plenty of room to spare on most of them.
Dude, McPherson is a gangster. He's an absolute gangster. So he hits a 52-yarder. Bengals are up by 3, and the Chiefs get the ball back with 6 minutes left. They drive down the field. And at this point, I think, again, everybody was thinking they went down the field, ran a lot of clock. With 6 minutes left, they ran it all the way down to the 2-minute warning. They're down at the Cincinnati 15-yard line. Again, 2-minute warning, 15 yards to score a touchdown on 1st and 10. Mahomes scrambles, push for 4 yards. Mahomes scrambles, 4 yards again. 3rd down and 2. Mahomes, 2-yard pass to Travis Kelce. 1st and goal from the 5-yard line with 1 minute and 30 seconds left. There's no chance. There's no chance they don't score a touchdown. There's no way. They're going to score a touchdown. And I was at the bar with my buddy, and I'm like, if you're the Bengals, let them score. Like, let them score because it's inevitable. Like, they're going to score a touchdown. So just let them score so that you can at least get the ball back, be in control of your own destiny, and then try to go down and score another one with 1 minute, whatever time that was supposed to be left.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I didn't say let them score. Like, I
I'm
get what
just
your thought. I get what your thought process is. Like,
right.
if you really believe they're gonna score, just let them get in, so at least you have a chance to get the ball back.
Exactly.
But they took their dicks out there, and they're like, like we're playing some defense right now, and you have what you basically have to stop them 3 times.
Yep.
Because you know that they're not gonna go for it on fourth and gamble their season on a roll of the dice, have some of them blitz a corner and get a sack on Mahomes or whatever,
And end the game. Yeah.
You know you have to stop them 3 times, and you know that they ended up running it on first down, right?
They ran it on first down with Jared McKinnon for a yard and tackled him for nothing. And I was like, that's a great call if you're Kansas City, right? Because at that point, Cincinnati had no timeouts left. You got to run a little bit of clock. Like we said, right? Worst case scenario, they kick a field goal. They run it for nothing. Bunch of time runs off. Mahomes takes the second and goal snap from the 4-yard line and gets sacked for 5-yard loss. So now you're third and goal from the 9. And there's 39 seconds left. And I don't think Kansas City had 2 timeouts, but like they're going for a touchdown. And like you said, if they don't get it on third, they're going to kick the field goal. So, dude, those 2 sacks at the end of the game, at the end of the regulation time, the 5-yard sack and the 15-yard sack for the Bengals on third and goal, both times Mahomes was just running around. Like it was like backyard football. Same thing kind of on the 2 touchdown passes he had to Kelsey and Tyreek Hill. He's just running around. Cuts right, cuts left, back and forth, stops, spins, pivots, breaks a tackle, like. And the entire time, everybody's just like, tackle him, tackle him, tackle him. And then he runs out of time. He has to have a little bit of space to throw a pass. And that third and goal play, he runs around for, my God, like fucking 15 seconds. And then takes the sack. And then he fumbles.
He almost fucking just lost it on the fumble.
He fucking fumbled the ball. But the Chiefs' offensive lineman falls on the ball at the 26-yard line. And the Chiefs take a timeout with 3 seconds left. Kick the field goal, tie the game at 24, and we go to overtime. So here we go again, and we talked about it last week. We go to overtime, and the overtime rules is the coin toss. You score a touchdown in the first possession, you win the game. Bengals kicker calls heads, fucking lands on tails. Chiefs win the coin toss, give me the ball. And everybody, fucking same story. God damn it. Like, the fucking Chiefs got the ball again. Gonna go down the field. Gonna score a touchdown. Lose. Bengals are never gonna even touch the ball. And they're gonna lose because of the fucking coin flip. So the Bengals kick it off. Mahomes gets the ball. First play in overtime, incomplete. Second play in overtime, 2nd and 10, incomplete. 3rd and 10. Got to force something a little bit, right? You got your weapons. You got Tyreek Hill. You got Kelsey. Mahomes drops back. Throws a deep ball down the sideline. Pretty much double coverage. But Tyreek had a chance at it. And the DB makes a play. Kind of tips it. Interferes, not like in a bad way. He makes a defensive play. Interrupts the pass. Gets tipped. And gets intercepted by the fucking Bengals. And at that point, if you're the Bengals fans, it's not only intercepted, but he picked it and then ran it back to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, it was like 45.
It's like you need like 20 yards, 15, 20 yards to give yourself a chance, because apparently your kicker is fucking the greatest gift in the history of the NFL as far as kickers go. Evan McPherson just absolutely nails. So the Bengals get the ball. They go 45-yard line, 9-yard pass. Joe Mixon, 4 yards for the first down. Joe Mixon for 2 yards. 8-yard pass from Burrow, first down. Joe Mixon for 7 yards. Joe Mixon for 13 yards. Now they are just so far in field goal range. So far, like, well within. And everyone's like just saying, like, kick it, kick it, kick it at that point. Mixon up the middle for 2. Joe Burrow. Now they're on the 10, literally the 10-yard line. And Joe Burrow takes the snap, runs over to the right hash, takes a knee, and Evan McPherson lines up for a 31-yard field goal And there was just like never a doubt, like you said, like it's almost like he doesn't even know that like that kick sends his team to the Super Bowl. Like that is such a monster kick. Like,
dude, he wasn't even like he didn't even look that pumped. Like really, he like was smiling. Like he was obviously like ecstatic and really happy, but he was like, yeah, like you know what I mean? Like he wasn't like I picture like the like those moments like the Tiger like super fist bump where there's like so much more passion or
right.
like Michael Jordan jumping up in the air, pumping his fist,
Yeah. Yeah.
like moments like that, Todd Helton when they went the Rockies go to the World Series, like like just
Arms in
dropping
the
down
air,
to the
yeah.
knee. Yeah. And he was just like smiling, like had his hand out.
Yeah,
He
just
wasn't
like
jumping up and down.
like, dude. So he lines up for 31-yard field goal, just buries it right down the middle, hits the middle of the fucking net. Bengals beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City in the AFC Championship game, and they go to the fucking Super Bowl. I mean, there's not many people besides optimistic Bengals fans that really predicted that game ending the way it did, and the final score being what it was, 27-24. Bengals beat the Chiefs. And there's a lot to unpack, right? We spent a lot of time breaking down the actual play-by-play of the game. But you look at, statistically speaking, Jamar Chase, the superstar, right? The superstar receiver. He had 54 receiving yards. He had a touchdown, but he had 54 receiving yards on 6 targets, or 6 catches, I should say. I mean, that's not that amazing. And like if you look statistically, Mahomes had 275, Joe Burrow had 250. Mahomes had 3 touchdowns, Burrow had 2. Kelsey had 95 receiving yards, Tyreek Hill had 78. Like they just outplayed them probably statistically, in the box score. But the statistic I saw, we fucking dove into it in that first episode. But like the QBR, right? Not the passer rating, the QBR for Patrick Mahomes in the second half. And that's a scale that it's an ESPN statistic that we all hate and it's fucking bullshit. But it's out of 100 from a 0 to 100 scale. And Patrick Mahomes' QBR, quarterback rating, and that's graded and based on the difficulty of every play and everything else. His QBR in the second half was like 2.1. 2.1.
Oh,
like
I bet $20 live bet, like when he was just when they were picking up those chunk plays. Like I put like a $20 live bet that he would finish. I think he had 210 yards that he would finish with over at halftime. That he would finish with over 320 yards. And I was like, that's
easy.
I was like, he'll get that in the third quarter.
And so and he didn't.
He threw for I think he ended up throwing for like 65 yards in the entire second half.
Yeah, he finished with 275. So that sounds about right.
Yeah, so that makes sense, right?
So he finished with 275,
like
3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and the one big interception was the one in overtime. Burrow had 250, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. But I think, man, the story of this game is just not. I think it's just. It's something that I've kind of stood on maybe a little bit more than I should, and it's something that I've said about Mahomes. And it's not that Mahomes isn't an incredible quarterback, because he's amazingly talented, superstar, probably the best overall quarterback in the NFL. But the bottom line is, if you're not able to play a full 60-minute game executing at the high level that you are, and your defense doesn't show up and play at a decent level, and special teams and everything that goes into winning a football game, my take on Mahomes from the beginning was that I think he's going to finish his career with 2 Super Bowls. 2. And that's a tough take. That's something that's hard for people to understand or think about. But when you think about Andy Reid, and you think about the defense, and you think about the teams he's coached, and you watched him in the Super Bowl last year against Tampa Bay, just running for his fucking life and everything, Mahomes, his career has had a very, I don't want to say predictable, but his trajectory
quick
has
ascent. Yeah. He shot. I mean, didn't he throw? Was it his first year? Was it his first year as a starter? He threw 50 touchdowns. Was that his first year?
It was his second year when he won the Super Bowl. He threw for 50 and he won MVP and everything else.
What did he have in his? So like, what did he have in his first year starting?
Well, why don't we just
Mahomes,
look?
Yeah, let's look at Mahomes' career.
Mahomes' stats on Pro Football Reference, right? I mean, in his career in 2017, he played 15 games. Oh, no. His first season as a starter in 2018, you're right. He played 16 games, 15 games, or he played 16 games. He had 50 touchdowns, 12 picks. I mean, like that is fucked up, dude.
In his first year, well, like, can you see where everyone's fucking head was at, though? You know what I mean? He threw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns as a fucking, basically a rookie. He threw 35 pass attempts before that. He had 5,000 yards. He made the league look like fucking Swiss cheese, dude. He just dominated every single team. 50 touchdowns, 12 picks. Like
MVP.
Did they win? Is it the MVP?
No.
Did they win the Super Bowl?
No, that was the year they got bounced by the Patriots in the AFC Championship, and they won it the next season. He played 14 games. He was hurt for a couple. He threw 26 touchdowns, 5 picks. Last year he threw 38 touchdowns, 6 picks. This year he threw a few more picks, right? 37 touchdowns, 13 picks, right? I mean, whatever. It is what it is.
Wait, hold on. He didn't win it. He didn't win it the next year, I don't think.
2019, he won the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, he won the Super Bowl.
I thought we just said the Pats did.
No, 29. Well, it's super confusing because the AFC Championship, it says 2019 on here. That was the regular season he played in 2019, and the Super Bowl was in 2020, like February of 2020. I can tell you that confidently because he won the Super Bowl.
So Philly beat New England. Remember that was the Nick Foles year.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was the super boring New England versus Los Angeles, and then Kansas City beat San Fran. The whole regular season was the 2019 end of 2019 calendar year. And then it went into 2020, and then Mahomes won the Super Bowl against San Francisco, and then fucking COVID hit, and everybody the whole world shut down. But he won the Super Bowl in the calendar year of 2020. Yeah, yes, but no. So it makes sense though. It makes sense why the fucking like you know what I mean though. Somebody comes out of the gate, dude. They've never even started.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
They rip the league into shreds, and it's like, of course, like he wins the Super Bowl the next year, and it goes, how is this guy not going to win 6 or 5?
At least.
Like who's gonna? Yeah. Like if he plays for 20 years, he might win 10. Who knows? Because he looked unstoppable. I was like, who the fuck is going to beat him? And especially like you're like in your mind, they're always going to have Travis Kelce and Tyreek or some guys like that. Like,
right.
I don't know. Like,
no, and that's
obviously quarterbacks are going to outlast receivers.
Right.
And tight ends.
Right. But that's the thing. And you look at a coach like Andy Reid, and you look at the scheme and everything else, right? This is not a knock on Andy Reid because he's a great coach, but Andy Reid's not a defensive-oriented coach. The teams that he had success with before Mahomes and the Chiefs was Michael Vick, Deshaun Jackson, like super weapons that were dialed in for big plays and everything else in Philadelphia. And I think you just have to have that mid-tier to top 10 defense to win consistently. So that's what I was saying about Mahomes and his career. Like you said, it's already started at such a high level, right? Throws for 50 touchdowns, goes to the AFC Championship. Okay, he loses. Well, everybody knows next year his next step is the Super Bowl. Next season, gets to the Super Bowl, beats the 49ers, wins Super Bowl MVP. That is the pinnacle of his career. He's at the very top. And from that point on, his career and everything that's going on with Kansas City has slowly but surely started to decrease. So you start with a Super Bowl championship. The next year, he plays in the Super Bowl, plays the Bucs, obviously runs into Tom Brady, running like a fucking chicken with his head cut off.
Yeah,
defense dominated him in that Super Bowl, loses the Super Bowl. Plays the next year against the Cincinnati Bengals, loses in the AFC Championship game again. Next year, the Kansas City Chiefs are faced with a tough choice because of the contract that Patrick Mahomes has signed and the salary cap in the NFL. They have to choose basically between Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. They have to choose between one of those two guys. And that's a different debate. And we can all talk about, oh, I think Kelsey's more valuable or Tyreek Hill's more valuable. But next year, he's going to have one or the other. He's not going to be able to have both. So the slope is starting to decline. And then let's say next year, let's say they hypothetically re-sign one of the guys, Tyreek or Travis Kelce. Now you only have one weapon. You don't have both. Hypothetically, Broncos get Aaron Rodgers. Maybe they don't win the division next year. They go 11-6. The year after that, they go 10-7. Like the point is, the Chiefs are gonna be good. Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback, but this was their 4-year window to win 3 Super Bowls, and they came out with one. But I don't think Mahomes will find himself in that super high level of competitiveness and success until maybe later in his career when they pick up more weapons or more guys and they're able to re-sign more. But if their defense is finishing
it, him so much,
and their defense this year was the 27th ranked defense in the NFL. If their defense is going to be bottom 3rd, bottom 4th in the NFL every year while he's playing quarterback, I think he's going to win 2 rings. I think he's going to win 2 rings in his career.
I think 2 might be a little bit of a short sell, just because if you look at the years since he started, you said they got bounced by New England, and then New England went on to win. Then they went and they won, and then they went and they got fucking steamrolled by Tampa Bay's super defense and Tom Brady. And then this year they were fucking that close. You know, they had the ball in their possession with the game in their hands.
Yep.
To go win the game. Maybe a play call before halftime wins them that football game.
Yep.
You know, like the right play call. So I think I don't know, like obviously it's super fucking hard to win, but like you also got to think, like, you got Herbert, you get this new era of quarterbacks coming in, right? They're like we talked about, there's this new era, but you're good, like guys that have like figured out and crafted the game, like that have gotten better and better and better over their careers, like Aaron Rodgers and shit, you know? Those guys are going to be on their way out, while Patty still has 10 plus years
for
left.
sure,
because he's gonna play till he's fucking 40. So if he picks up, like, and he's already super smart, but if he's able to pick up just those little things that, like, you can tell Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady or like they're so smart about, right? And like not make that bonehead like big arm throw every once in a while, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
I just think I don't think, like, just the fact that they literally since he started they've made 2
AFC Championship every year, pretty much.
Yeah, and they're right on the cusp of the AFC Championship. So they're right on the cusp of being in 4. To say that he's only going to win 1 ring in the next like 15 years, because he's gonna play for at least 15 more years.
I think he won the one he has. I think it's going to be similar to and I'm not comparing him to Ben Roethlisberger, but it's going to be a similar trajectory where Ben Roethlisberger showed up early on, great player. They had good defense. You know, everything came together. They won the Super Bowl. And then 7 years go by. They win another one. I think, and this is not a knock on him, man, because he deserves to be paid as the highest quarterback in the NFL. But that is such a big hit, dude, on their fucking payroll, on the salary cap. Dude, paying him $45 million a year, that is such a big hit, man. That's why Brady and these guys have had so much success, is because Brady's like, I'll take 20. Like, I want to win. And it's like Mahomes wants to win too, man. But it's like, dude, giving the guy what was his fucking contract? 13 fucking years.
It was like $500 million, dude.
Like, that's insane. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve the money. I'm just saying if it's baseball, it's different. Because there is no salary cap, and you can sign whoever and do whatever and go over the luxury tax, and it doesn't matter. In football, there is a hard fucking salary cap, and so you have to consider that. And I just don't know, man. And you know what? And this is another thing, man. If they would have maybe been able to afford or draft or whatever, like Edwards-Helaire is a good running back, but like if they could afford or be able to handle a better running back, like a Najee Harris, or I don't even know, like just somebody like that, then of course they would be unstoppable. But losing Kelsey
Yeah,
and or Tyreek Hill next year, that's going to hurt him, man, a lot.
they really don't. Yeah, they really don't. Does it ever feel like that? Like it was funny because for a while it was like they went through like the Priest Holmes era, and then they had like the Jamal Charles era.
Yeah,
Where
like
like those
stars,
guys were
man.
like bona fide superstar running backs, and then you get like look at it over the last like fucking
3-4 years, yeah.
yeah, even like 5 or 6 years. Like I mean, like who are you gonna say is like a bona fide stud for them?
None. You can't.
At
That's what I'm
running
saying.
back? Yeah,
And that's kind of where they've
they've had guys that
sacrificed.
have big games, you know.
Right, they've
Like
sacrificed.
they're not every week.
They've had like Damian Williams, I guess like he's
Yeah,
been
exactly,
good, but
like-
it's like, dude, if you're able to get a Joe Mixon or any of the other, honestly, dude, Sonny Michel or fucking, I mean, anybody, man. But like, and that's it. I mean, you can't
Those are
like
too bad.
complain about
I
it.
don't love either of those examples.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
Joe Mixon maybe, but like I
I'm
would
just
say,
saying,
like,
I take Sonny Michel
Sonny over Clyde, yeah,
over Jerick McKinnon and Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
for sure.
Or Cam
sure.
Akers over Jerick McKinnon, or like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like, but and again, it's not their fault because of course they're winning, but they don't have high draft picks, so it's hard, man. It's hard to get those guys in. So, man, we spent a lot of time talking about them, but Chiefs lost, Bengals won. Bengals are going to the goddamn Super Bowl, so good for them, man. Holy shit.
that's the first one since 1988.
Man, good for them, man. Good.
You know
good
what's
for
funny
them.
is if San Fran would have won tonight. You know, the last time the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, they played
San Fran. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking what, 34 years ago?
Yeah, fucking long time ago.
All right. So let's roll into this next game then.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got San Fran,
49ers and Rams in LA, right? And we may not do quite as much of the at the spaceship. We might not do quite as much of the play-by-play breakdown, but that first game was just like so good. So it was hard to top for the second game, but it's very important, right? Either way, fucking one of these teams is going to the Super Bowl. And not to toot my own horn, but we both Jared fucking nailed his picks. Bengals +7. Obviously it hit because they won. And he had Rams money line and under the alternate spread of 49. He could have taken the regular not spread. He could have taken the regular total of 46.5 and taken that under, and that would have hit as well because the final score. Go ahead.
Points though. Yeah, bought the points. Bought the points because I didn't feel super safe about it.
Right. No, you don't, and that's fine. That's totally fair, right? So the Rams, 49ers in the NFC Championship in LA. I will say, man, and I knew this game was going to be how it was. There was a fuckload of 49ers fans, like a shitload. They always showed the crowd. So many 49ers fans, and good for them, man, because, I mean, they were hot. They were coming in, and they almost pulled it off. But I think this game, I think I said it before, man, but this game was, you have your weapons, you have your guys, you have everybody you can count on, but this was just a matter, I think the Rams were just, they out-weaponed the 49ers, they just, Cooper Kupp, OBJ, Stafford is just so much better than Jimmy Garoppolo. He's just so much better as a quarterback.
Yeah. Even early in that game, earlier in that game, if Jimmy hits that pass
wide open
to Kittle,
open,
they get points on that drive.
Yep.
If he completes that pass,
that's
open. That's like first down on like the 45, like they're the Rams 45. Yeah, so they at least probably get points there, which coming down, it ended up being a 3-point game, right? So like just that one pass.
Yeah,
is a good example.
And that's a lot of these games. A lot of these times you could break it. You could end up like breaking it down or making it come down to one play. But of course, there's a lot more than that. I think to Jared's astute observation, I think one thing to take out of this game is that, I mean, Deebo Samuel is just a fucking freak. I mean, he's a fucking freak, man. He runs the ball. He leads the team in receiving. He leads the team in rushing. And he gets 7 carries for 26 yards, which isn't that much. But like Elijah Mitchell had 11 carries for 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Against a freak run defense
Right.
too.
And Debo, man, and then he had 4 catches for 72 yards. One of them was the big 44-yard touchdown, right? He breaks it off, screenplay. I mean, I'm happy for the Rams because they sold out, like absolutely the definition of just selling out for a Super Bowl. And here they are, right? I mean, they beat the 49ers 20-17 in regulation. They score 13 points in the fourth quarter to win. And they were down 10-7 at half. And everybody, dude, I mean, it's the same fucking feeling we all had every game the 49ers played. We're like, dude, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And the Rams are loaded and the fucking Packers are loaded last week, but it's like 49ers are fucking winning this game. Like, how are they doing it, man? It's so weird.
They're just gritty and you're never sure how they're winning or why. But you watch the game and you look at the score and you're like, how the fuck are they up 10?
Yeah, it's like what?
Jimmy G's throwing fucking for 112 yards and
they're winning.
no rushing yards, but they like you know what I mean? Like you said, like they're 26 and 20 is 40. It's fucking less than 50 rushing yards or whatever.
Yeah, they literally had 50 rushing yards because Jimmy had one run for 4 yards.
Scramble, right? So it's like you had less than 50.
Jimmy's not throwing for big
numbers. The defense plays but they're not where you're like, oh, that's a fucking dominant.
Dude, and
it's like almost mathematically sometimes it feels like it doesn't even fucking make sense.
It doesn't add up, dude. And I said that about the 49ers, man. I was like, it's cool of like a story, like it's cool the 49ers get in the Super Bowl if they make it. But they're just like such a, I hate to say this, man, but they're just like boring. Like they're just not that fun to watch. And
unless Debo gets the ball.
Unless Debo touches the ball because he's electric. But the rest of the team, like, it's not like their defense is one of those defenses where, you watch, of course, we're Broncos fans, right? You go back to that Super Bowl where they played the Panthers. That defense is so fun to watch because it's like, who's going to get a sack? Who's going to tip this pass? Who's going to intercept this pass? Like, everyone's flying to the ball. Like, they have good players on defense, but it's just like, you look at the roster and you're like, that's not a Super Bowl team. Like, it's not even close to a Super Bowl team. Like, if you hold it, especially, yeah, like on paper, you hold it up and you're like, okay, let's compare quarterbacks. Jimmy G, Matthew Stafford. Stafford times a million. Let's just say Debo doesn't run the ball. Elijah Mitchell versus a rookie versus Cam Akers, who's had, big games, big year last season or whatever. You take Cam Akers. Cooper Kupp compared to Debo, it's a good comparison. They're both explosive, but like as far as a pure receiver goes, Cooper Kupp's better.
Cooper.
Their second best guy, Brandon Ayuk or OBJ, who finished with 113 receiving yards. Like, you take OBJ. Like, it's just there's so many guys, and like
it's super. He's just a bona fide superstar. Like, has been one of the has been to the peak.
Exactly.
Brandon Ayuk is still like one of those guys that like needs to have a couple big huge years to be considered,
right. And then you flip the coin over and you look at defense, like Nick Bosa is really good. Okay. But like Von Miller, fucking Aaron Donald, dude. Jalen Ramsey. Like, I know they came out of retirement, but like Eric, they are just fucking loaded. And so, if it wasn't going to be the Bucs and Tom Brady, I feel like the Rams that had to be the team, and they ended up being the team, beating the 49ers, 20-17. And I think it shows too, to the point we talked about previously, where at the end of the day, moving forward in the NFL and the league that we're going to see in the future, the teams that are going to have success are the teams that have quarterbacks, unless they're like pretty elite pocket passers like Stafford, I think is. The quarterbacks are going to have to be mobile if they're not going to be elite pocket passers. And it showed at the end of the game, right? Jimmy Garoppolo had a chance to go down the field with 2 minutes left, down by 3, take him into field goal range, whatever. And he got scrambled. Of course, they brought pressure and he was under pressure. And he tried to like underhand shovel a pass to check down to the running back and got tipped and intercepted, and the Rams caught it and ran out the clock. But it's like
the future of the NFL quarterback. The future NFL quarterback is the perfect balance and harmony between old school pocket passer and backyard bullshit. You got to have
100%.
you have to be able to do both. it's got to be pocket passer when that's happening.
When you need it.
But when the reads aren't there, you got to be able to
and shit
backyard
falls
bullshit.
apart, dude, and everything goes to shit. Josh Allen will fucking scramble and break 3 tackles and scramble for 12 yards. He'll do it.
Scramble for 12 and extend the drive. And then the next time he drops back and he takes his first 2 reads, oh shit, Stephon Diggs just busted a nice corner route. He's wide open. He throws it. It connects to how the play was designed to be.
Exactly.
But like when the fucking X's and O's aren't working out, you got to be able to improvise, and that's what the fucking mobile quarterbacks are going to be able to do. And that's why Jimmy G are going to die.
Yeah, Jimmy G is just not that guy. I mean, and I think we said about the 49ers. I think at least I said it, last week. They're not a team that's designed. This game was really lining up for them to have success because at one point they were up 17-7. They're designed with a quarterback like Jimmy G to play ahead, like to play like the Patriots with Mac Jones, where it's like you're not designed to come back because you don't have the weapons and the monster quarterback with the big arm. You're designed to play from ahead, and they were ahead. But credit to the Rams, they came back. They were down 17-7. They scored a touchdown in the 4th, made it 17-14, kicked 2 field goals, on subsequent drives, and then they won the game. But I think, as a general statement, again, Deebo Samuel, monster. Cooper Kupp, man, what the fuck, dude? 11 catches, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, dude, he's not the best route runner.
No, I was going to say the opposite. I think his fucking routes are insane.
Dude, here's what I'm going to say. He's not the best, like, pure athlete route runner in the NFL. Like, if I had to pick a guy that I was like, who's going to get like one-on-one ball, like amazing route, there's a handful of guys you could take, but I don't think Cooper Kupp, like before the season, was obviously ever in that conversation. As the season's gone on, he's gotten better and better and slowly worked his way into that conversation. But still, like, dude, again, like you talked about it. What's like one play, one guy, if there's nobody else on the field, you put the ball in his hands and he's going to fucking get you a first down. Deebo Samuel or Cooper Kupp? Like, I'm going to take Deebo.
You're taking Deebo?
I'm going to take Deebo because he can run guys over. Like as a pure, just like ridiculous, pure athlete.
I get that because like Kupp's obviously probably like if they're running head to head at a 40-yard dash, Deebo's probably quicker.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
Obviously more explosive on cuts. But I think route running wise, like depends on what you call it, like what you're talking about route. If Deebo's running like a post or something, his pure speed might get him open deep. But the thing about Cooper Kupp is like those little short routes that he does open up those long routes that he does. And like I literally, when we were watching the game downstairs, it was like one of the catches that he made to go for like fucking 12 yards.
Yeah.
I literally watched it and I was like, he looks off the line of scrimmage. I said he looks digital because he chopped his feet like 6 times so fast and then broke to the inside and caught a pass for 12. And then the connection on top of that, but that he has with Stafford,
that is
obviously.
Such a great word,
for
dude.
Timing.
Digital is such a great way to describe Cooper Kupp because
I
think that makes the most sense. And I think the reason why I'm coming from the perspective I'm coming from is because it doesn't make sense that he's always fucking open, dude. He's always fucking open. And not only, even if he's not open, or if it's a tough throw, or it's a corner route, an end zone, or sideline pass, like, even if he's not quite 100% open or whatever, like, he will catch the ball with 2 feet inbounds every fucking time. Like dude, he is just like so mechanically sound and so pure. But like, again, and this is not like, I'm not saying that Jerry Jeudy is a better like receiver than Cooper Kupp, but like route running wise, like you put both guys and you show one guy run a stop and go, Cooper Kupp or Jerry Jeudy, like Jerry Jeudy is going to stop harder, cut better, make the DB bite harder, and then like get open more. But like, that's like the pure, like just physical ability. Like, cause of course, Jerry Jeudy, again, probably maybe faster, like whatever, but Cooper Kupp is like so technically, and there was that one play, and maybe we could probably lay it over on a TikTok or whatever, dude, where he broke it down on a fucking, he broke down like a play. I don't know if you saw that video where he like, somebody asked him a question about a route or whatever. It was the post-game interview, let me see if I can find it here on Twitter, dude. And here it is, right here. He got asked the question.
Touchdown specifically, your defender went and blitzed.
Yeah, dude, listen to this, and everybody can hear this. Listen to this shit, dude. Like, this is shit where it's like, again, you put Jerry Jeudy in a room and you ask him to answer the question the same way. He's not gonna fucking do this shit. Listen to this shit.
Touchdown specifically, your defender went and blitzed. What did you see there? How were you able to use that to your advantage?
Yeah, they set a little 3-deep fire zone, brought the nickel off the edge, safety dropped down. It didn't look like they were doing a replacement fire zone, so I knew at the back away we were going to get 3 pushing through. I had an opportunity to kind of run in there if I could beat my guy and just had to beat the safety to the end zone.
Touchdown specifically, your defender.
What the fuck did you just say? Like, what the fuck is that?
I think that's like the NFL equivalent of like fucking coding.
Dude, it's literally insane. Like, he's like, yeah, the 3D fire zone. Saw safety was going to blitz up front. Didn't know if they had, they had a guy replace him in the back. Could beat safety to the corner of the end zone. It's like, and Jerry Jeudy's just like, I'm going to run my route and I'm going to fucking beat my guy that's in front of me. And then I'll be open, like, if or not, right? But Cooper Kupp, man, he's just so technically sound and smart and just like, God, well, man, he's so good.
Maybe it probably helps that he's like, this year I heard that him and Stafford like just put in all sorts of crazy amounts of work together, just like so Stafford probably, you got to give probably a little bit of credit to the Stafford probably helping him.
For sure.
And like things like that, because like they said, like I heard like these stories at the beginning of the year that like they sat like Cooper Kupp and him sat together in their little breakfast lunch hall every day and we're talking, and obviously you can tell that like their like personal like relationship off the field, like at practice and 100%. Shit, like leads onto the field and like because like sometimes you see fucking Stafford just force the ball to him. It's because he trusts him. Like he's like it's like you fucking the dog. You do one of those little clickers and you feed the dog peanut butter or whatever. It's like when he starts to hear that clicker, he understands it's a reward. So it's like Matthew Stafford fucking understands that when I throw the ball that guy's way, dude, he's probably going to be open and he's going to probably make a fucking play.
He got targeted 14 times today, and I'm pretty sure that's a relatively routine thing for Cooper Kupp. If I click on his player profile and I look
so
at
many targets,
dude. If I look at his player profile, hold on, I got fucking sound coming from somewhere. Oh shit! All right, he's got in 20. Like, I think the craziest thing, and again, it's like a breakdown of Cooper Kupp. He just like wasn't that guy before this, like, and it's maybe that's tough to say.
He was still good.
I was gonna say, because looking at 2019, dude, he had 1,000 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, like, and that's with Goff.
Right, yeah.
Like always remember that, dude. Like fucking like we talked about. I don't know who exactly we talked about last time. I think we talked about Demaryius Thomas with like how Peyton made Demaryius Thomas and Eric Decker fucking
100%,
superstars.
100%.
So Stafford obviously had like Calvin Johnson, but other than that, he didn't really have. I guess he had like Marvin Jones, but like you know what I mean? Like fucking a guy like Marvin Jones. Remember how good Marvin Jones was for the Lions? Jones Jr.
Monster,
right? Kenny Galladay, guys that were good. They both signed big contracts and moved to other places because
and they weren't great.
Pay anyway.
Yeah,
and nobody, dude. All people do is bitch, moan, and complain about those two now.
Dude,
because it's like because your receiver's only as good as the quarterback because the quarterback's not getting him ball like a good ball, and vice versa. Obviously, if you have a great fucking receiver, but like shit, like great receivers don't succeed with shitty quarterbacks.
100%. Dude, looking at his targets,
like medium or like even shitty receivers can have big games with great quarterbacks.
Yes. So. God, these fucking ESPN ads are killing me. Cooper Kupp's targets this year, read them off by game: 10, 11, 12, 13, 10, 12, 13, 9, 13, 13, 10, 10, 15, 13, 13, 17 against Baltimore in the regular season, 7 against the 49ers in the regular season. First round of the playoffs, 7, 11 last week, and 14. Dude, there is no chance there's another receiver in the NFL who averages as many fucking targets as him.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, there's no way. Let's see. NFL target leaders. I bet you that pops up.
Has to be number one. Has to be.
Cooper by far. by far. 209 compared to the next closest is Devontae Adams at 180.
Dude, that's
30 targets. That's a fucking huge chunk.
dude, 30. And Devontae Adams, by the way, gets targeted a shitload every game too.
It feels like Devontae Adams catches the ball every play.
Dude, literally every play. Yeah.
And then you got Deontay Johnson right behind him. Deontay does get targeted a lot, but like that's kind of weird because it doesn't like feel like he would be number
Right, because
three.
well, Deontay, yeah, they're just like.
Well, then you also got to think too, like some of these guys, like Justin Jefferson, missed games.
Sure. I think the point that we were going at is that Stafford. Well, first of all, like we said, Debo's a fucking freak. Cooper Kupp is a freak. Technically, man, just so sound. I think Odell, man, has gotten such a bad rap. I think Odell.
Quarterbacks.
I think
shitty quarterbacks, man. He played with shitty. He made the super catch. He had a couple good years in fucking New York, and then he goes to the Browns and fucking Baker's.
dude,
I love Baker, but like just because he's a cool guy, but he's kind of a fucking trash can in the NFL so far. I mean,
Odell-
fucking how many games is fucking Baker Mayfield gonna go fucking 14 for 25 with 169 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception? You know
That's
what I
every
mean?
game
Like
he
that's
plays.
that's his stat lines. And like here we are as the guys, sitting here talking about it. We're like,
Of course.
we get it. It's
Of course.
It's obviously fucking ridiculously hard, but it's like speaking to like Odell fell off. Odell didn't fall off necessarily. Odell just didn't have a fucking QB and didn't have maybe it was coaching, like while he was there,
100%.
they had fucking Fred Kitchens, they had multiple different coaches, you know.
Dude, Odell has gotten a much worse rap than he deserves, in my opinion, because obviously he's a freak athlete. Obviously he's an exceptional player. And I think that was a focus point for when the Rams traded for him is McVay. It's not like they were coddling his ego or anything like that, but they were just like, we want to get him targeted and involved in the offense because when he's more involved, and of course, if they're winning, he's going to be happy. And that's part of any success with any team is you have to make sure everybody is okay and happy. You know what I mean? I mean, really, it's like, it is important. And so Odell, man, is still.
Speaking of that, T.O. went after fucking Baker and the Browns on Twitter today. I didn't see. I was looking up Baker Mayfield, and it was like to see how many of those little shitty games.
Yeah.
So I wanted to read off the examples of the games that that were the exact close to that stat line. He goes, "Congrats to the Bengals and the Rams, but extremely happy for OBJ. Browns at Baker Mayfield totally screwed that situation up. In the words of Kendrick Perkins, carry the hell on." But that was today, which is funny.
Yeah. Dude, I agree with him.
Yeah, well, it's like, okay, let's see. I gotta find Baker Mayfield game log.
I could probably find it too.
Here it is right here. Dude, it's just like, okay, so 16 for 38, 185, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, sacked 9 times.
Are you looking at this year?
21 for 36, 222 yards.
2 touchdowns, 4 picks.
4 picks. 22 for 32, 190, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. 18 for 37, sub 50%, 247 yards. Fucking 1 touchdown, no interceptions. It's just constantly fucking.
Yeah, beats the Detroit Lions on November 21st. 15 for 29, 176 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks.
Here you go. New England, 45-7 loss, 11 for 21 for 73 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick.
God, it's just bad.
But that's just what his stat. He threw for over 300 yards twice this year. He came out hot. He threw for 21 for 28 for 321, but he still threw. But get this, he goes 21 for 28 for 321.
Yeah, week 1,
0 touchdowns and a pick.
Yep.
It's just why? Why? What? Is it coaching? Is it Baker? Is it decision making? You know what I mean? Because it's obviously fucking. I like Baker. I think Baker is what it was almost fucking somebody sent Johnny Manziel to rehab. and he actually you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Baker, people were worried that Baker was going to be kind of like Johnny Manziel, and it was but Baker's obviously kept his shit together and been way more professional than Johnny Manziel ever
Of
was.
course,
But like,
but also Baker Mayfield is not good enough to be showing up. And dude, I don't want to be Colin Coward here. Of course, this podcast and everything else is not on the level of Colin Coward and the viewership and listenership he gets. But dude, Baker Mayfield is not fucking good enough to be showing up on my fucking TV every Sunday, every Thursday night, every Monday night on a Progressive fucking TV commercial for car insurance or fucking homeowners insurance, defending his, like, dude, he is just not that good. He's not good enough. Like, I see a Tom Brady crypto.com commercial. I'm like, that fucking makes sense. Tom Brady's a young looking, like, superstar, frontline ace, like, leads all of America as far as household names go. That makes sense for crypto.com to pay that guy a shit ton of money, or Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes to get paid by fucking State Farm to get paid. Like, Patrick and fucking Baker Mayfield and Progressive showing up, like, dude. And of course, credit to him.
Is it Progressive?
It's Progressive. It's Progressive.
No,
and
it's not.
100% it's Progressive. I bet my
State Farm.
I bet my life on it. It's Progressive. I bet the
Okay.
history of this podcast, it's Progressive.
Baker Mayfield commercials.
Oh, I want to hear it so bad. Please give it to me.
It's Progressive.
Yeah, it's Progressive. I know it was Progressive.
You know what made me think of that one was the fucking guy that when he gets the leather boots. Who's that guy from fucking?
Who?
You know, was Alice. I think it was Alice Cooper or whatever.
For farmers?
No, it's a Baker Mayfield and Alice Cooper. It's the Progressive. It's at home with Baker Mayfield. That's what
all of those. That's all those commercials are. At home with Baker Mayfield.
At home. So for some reason, like I was thinking that like it could have been like a good neighbor, because fucking the guy, he's at his house or whatever, and then fucking the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's there. So Alice Cooper brings over the fucking the boots. So I was thinking in my head, oh, they're neighbors. So I was like, it's State Farm.
No,
you're right. All right,
no, it's always the Patrick Price and the Rogers rate. That's the two for.
Rogers rate, yeah. So even if I was an over enthusiastic personal trainer, would I still get the Patrick Price?
Yeah. Even if I was a nobody selling sneakers in the Foot Locker, would I still get the Patrick Price? It's like, dude.
Yeah, he goes, because looks like this one just sold out.
Yeah, but guess what? Patrick Mahomes is a freak. Aaron Rodgers is a freak. Tom Brady, freak of nature. Baker Mayfield, fucking Kirk Cousins, dude. Average. And dude, you said it. I don't even know if we have to disclose this, because of course I'm sure these other guys don't disclose this. It's not like you and I are going to do any better, right? Like, of course these guys are playing in the NFL. It's incredibly difficult. The point is we're talking about OBJ, and his talents were not utilized in Cleveland. It's just a fact. It's just a bottom line. Yeah. They just weren't. And everyone's like, oh, OBJ Sr. or, Odell Beckham Sr. is vouching for his son and all this. It's like, dude, and like, I mean, I can sort of understand, like, it's his dad. It's kind of a weird thing, but like, dude, it makes perfect sense. And like, I don't know what Odell's career game logs and targets look like, but I know with Eli in New York,
he had like some freak years. I think.
Dude, he had some freak years, and Eli was targeting him similar to like almost Cooper Kupp numbers. Dude, OBJ was getting targeted a shit ton. And that was mostly because of obviously the freak catch that he made. But
I mean, you talk about fucking
like literally transcending like American sports. Like that literally was the most ridiculous catch I've ever seen. Ever.
Yeah, that was a ridiculous catch. And it was just like one of the it's one of those ones that's so crazy that he made, because it's like it probably made him. That catch single-handedly probably made him like an extra $20 million to $30 million.
Oh, easily.
Like, if not more. But like, okay. So he had fucking freak numbers as a rookie. 91 catches for 1,305 yards, 12 touchdowns.
Dude, that's like an unbelievable year. Like that's so
unbelievable
good.
Year. That's like better than what did Jamar Chase have this year? That might be better than Jamar Chase's year. Jamar.
Here, I'll see if I can beat you to it.
1,455 and 13 touchdowns. So yeah,
This is
he
pretty
actually
much
Jamar had
almost the same.
little,
Almost the same though.
almost the same, a little bit better.
But
And,
Joe
and
Burrow,
I think
but Joe Burrow's
Jamar
better
had one
than
more
fucking
game too.
yeah, and Joe Burrow's better than
Than
fucking
Eli.
Eli Manning. Yeah. So
But then he had 96. Then he had 96 for 1,450 and 13 touchdowns, which is
Jesus.
almost identical.
Yeah.
Almost identical to the year that he had this year. And then 1367, and then 101 catches for 1367 and 10 touchdowns. And then all of a sudden, fucking shit hit the fan. I think he got hurt that next year, right?
I think he did tear his ACL. Yeah.
300 yards, and then he had one more 1,000-yard season with 6 touchdowns, and then he went to Cleveland and had a 1,000-yard season, but he only had fucking 4 touchdowns. And like you need to be scoring touchdowns to be a fucking big name.
Yeah. 100%.
Because people are playing fantasy football. People are betting on touchdowns. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like that's what people want to see.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. So, Jared, we got, and we've gone a little bit longer than we normally do, but I love it. I don't care. We talk about fucking football all day. But Rams, Bengals, Super Bowl in LA, right? Of course, it's a home game for the Rams, supposedly. But I don't really buy. Like, even for the Bucks last year, they had the home game. Like, yes,
Yeah, but the Super Bowl is such a corporate event,
it's
right?
such a corporate event. And you saw how well the San Francisco 49ers fans traveled. Dude, you're telling me you live in Cincinnati, you are a fucking 43-year-old guy with a wife and 2 kids, and you're making 80, 90 grand a year because you've worked your way up the fucking company. You're working at the fucking the fucking steel mill or the wood yard, and you're the regional manager. You're not going to shell out tickets to fly out to LAX, stay at the fucking La Quinta, who gives a fuck, and drop $400 on 4 tickets for the family to go. Like, my point is, there is gonna be a lot of fucking Bengals fans at that game. And if you want to talk about Cincinnati, and again, this is not my fucking me taking shit out of this podcast, but like, I'm a bandwagon Alabama fan. I went to the Alabama game in Dallas for the college football playoff against the University of Cincinnati, and I thought it was going to be 90% Alabama fans, 10% Cincinnati. Dude, it was 50-50 or even more so Cincinnati fans versus Alabama. And that could be for a lot of different reasons, but I think a lot of that, what I was just saying, holds true, and that everybody's going to fucking go from Cincinnati to LA and want to watch that game. So I think that the home field holds some weight, but I don't know how much.
I just don't think in the Super Bowl it really holds as much.
I don't
weight.
either, man. I don't
And
either.
It is kind of weird that it's back-to-back years that it's happened.
It's very weird, and it's a little bit like we've talked about, a little bit. Oh, yeah.
We're not saying it. We're just saying.
Yeah.
But no, fucking A, dude. No, they're. You know what I'm thinking? Oh man, it's really hard to doubt the fucking Bengals, but it's like, you know what I'm thinking is like.
What's the line gonna be? What's the line? What is the line?
It's probably got to be. I don't know, like fucking minus. Like, because you got to think that the Bengals odds have to have improved after beating the Chiefs again, you know?
Yep.
So maybe 5.5 Rams.
Opening line. Rams favored by -4 over the Bengals.
-4. Okay, so I said 5.5. So yeah, I was thinking a little bit more. So exactly. So they've improved a little bit. So I'm thinking, and then the over-under is probably what, 50.50, 51, 50.5, something like that.
Dude, it's probably up on DraftKings.
It's probably right at 50.
It's probably, you think 50 and a half?
50.5 or like 51 or something like that. Probably 50.
Wow, you're so close, dude. So Rams -4, over under is 49 and a half.
Okay, so it's right there. So it's
49 and a half. 49 and a half, man.
Dude, that's a fucking and here's my issue right here about the Bengals and this game specifically. Is like, you pulled it off against the Chiefs. You know, and the Chiefs played a decent offensive game, and your defense stood up, but the Chiefs still scored 24 points, right?
Yeah.
I just don't know if you're going to be able to pull that off against that Rams defense. And that fucking line is Swiss cheese, man. And you got a way better pass rush. And like fucking Jim Rome was talking before the game today, and he called the Bengals offensive line a turnstile. Which I thought was,
That's a great.
Which I thought was hilarious because this is I picture fucking and I, like, you know what I mean? Like, is it going to be sack fumble Miller again? Because it's like Joe Burrow, as good as he is.
Hey, guess
like
what?
Said,
I mean, and we talked about
the Rams sold the fuck out for the Super Bowl, right?
Yep. Okay, but defensively, Joe Burrow, how many times? Okay, so the Kansas City Chiefs defense is not good, right? Everybody knows that. How many times from your memory do you think Joe Burrow was sacked in today's game against the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship? How many times?
Dude, it didn't really feel it. Maybe twice. It didn't really feel it. Maybe 2 or 3 times. It felt like every time that they had him, he actually escaped.
Dude, he really did. And that was one thing where
he had some Houdini escapes.
Dude,
today.
he had some serious Houdini, which does also contribute to the success they had. And they were not just Houdinis, they were Houdini escapes for first downs on third down. Like shit like that.
Like Chris Jones had that one there. Chris
double
Jones
sack,
had
almost had a fucking double sack. Yeah.
Yeah, like had the back of his helmet, and he fucking got out of it and scrambled it, and then he put the ball out.
Yeah.
How many times did they get?
Burrow was sacked one time for a 7-yard loss.
Really?
One time.
But that's. I guess they do have. I mean, they have Frank Clark and Chris Jones. They have 2 good guys up front. I just don't think that's the same caliber as.
I agree.
Aaron Jones
I agree. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Now, it's just you taking everything into context, right? Let's say, fuck, I don't know if it's offered on DraftKings, but let's just say, I'm not even going to look. Let's just say the sack total on Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl is at over under 3.5.
I'm taking the over.
You think over?
Yeah. I think that
is that a good number? You think 3.5?
Yeah, 3.5 is probably good. I wouldn't be surprised to see it. Yeah,
maybe 4.5. Maybe 4.5.
Maybe 4.5 steep. That's 5 sacks. It is. That's a lot. I'd say 3.5 is probably a good number because you're going against that pass rush. I just think that here's another thing that contributes to sacks is good coverage.
100%.
And you got fucking a way better secondary at the Rams. So it's like, unless Joe's forcing the ball down the field, to receivers that aren't open. By the way, Joe Burrow had that one today where he scrambled out and he literally looked like he thought the guy on the Chiefs was on his team and he threw a pass to him and he dropped it. You see that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That was fucking wild. But anyway, so I'm thinking that the pass rush is going to be too much. I think the Rams win the Super Bowl this year. I think I think the Bengals put up a fucking good fight.
Everybody's going to be pulling for the Bengals. I think
everyone. Nobody wants to see the fucking LA team win. They want to see the young guy.
100%.
And the team of the homegrown guys for the most part.
And Jared too. I will say this is something I'm seeing here on the just general game cast of the Bengals Chiefs that we spent literally 50 minutes talking about. But time of possession, and that's it's not really like a metric or like a stat. I mean, they do bring it up and they maybe, pop it up on the screen once or twice a broadcast. If you had to guess time of possession in the Chiefs Bengals game today, who do you think had more time possession? I mean, again, I'm fucking leading you into this, but
I couldn't tell. I would. The only reason that I might say the Bengals did is because
the second half.
The second half, Patrick Mahomes had 65 passing yards, and in the first half, those fucking drives were chunk, like you said, they were chunk play drives.
Yeah.
So they were scoring in 4 or 5 minutes.
Bengals had the ball for 35 minutes, 56 seconds. Chiefs had the ball for 29 minutes, 42 seconds. So the Bengals had the ball for almost 6 minutes more. And it's like a
half quarter.
Relatively, that's a kind of a close number. But like you said, that's a half quarter. They had one less turnover, right? 1 turnover compared to 2. Total yards, 359 for Cincy compared to 375 for Kansas City. I mean, that's almost a toss-up. I mean, it's 15 yards, 16 yards. First downs, 24 for Kansas City, 21 for Cincinnati. So I think, we'll do our podcast obviously coming up and do a lot more previews. Maybe we'll do a full, Dr. Degenerate, or we'll do a gambling episode or something like that where we'll break down our picks and scores and parlays and shit like that. But generally speaking, if you want to talk about keys to success, the Bengals hold the ball more than the Rams do. The Bengals might win the fucking Super Bowl, which would be just bananas if the Bengals won the Super Bowl. That would be.
Yeah, my thing is, I know the Bengals D played pretty good today. I think the fucking Chiefs offense is better than the Rams offense.
It is. Yep.
Yeah, but the Rams are pretty damn good offense as well. But it's like, I just think what it's going to come down to is like the old ass corny fucking phrase, the defense wins championships. And I just don't think, but I mean, you have, so they faced they faced the Titans, and then
they faced
Chiefs,
the
right?
Raiders, Titans, and Chiefs.
And none of those teams have it going on like the Rams do.
Titans defense was really good this year.
It was really good, but it wasn't. I mean, I think the Rams are
again
probably,
star-wise, the Rams
top,
have the best. I
think Rams were probably top 5 in both rushing and passing.
Why don't we just look up NFL defensive rankings 2021? Whoops. Okay. This says, I don't know what this is based on. I think it is points.
Team defense points. Looks like points. Yeah, it does look like points against.
Is it points against?
That's what I'm saying.
This is on Pro Football Reference.
The Titans. I'm on. Yeah, it's the same one. So yeah, it's points against. It looks like the Titans are at number 6.
Titans are at number 6, man. And the Rams are actually middle of the pack, dude.
15.
Yeah, middle of the pack.
But here's the thing. What's the difference in fucking points there? Like fucking 16.
372 versus the Bills give up 289.
18 points. Rams, let's look at yardage. Titans actually did play. What's the Titans division?
AFC South? South?
So that's another thing. Let's see.
Titans played the Jags twice, I think, and like the Texans.
So that's something to like.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. You have Colts, Titans, Jags.
Yeah.
Texans. Okay, so that's another thing to think about. You're talking about 18 points, and then like you have the Rams. So let's see.
The Rams played the 49ers, the Cardinals, and the fucking Seahawks. Like, Seahawks didn't have a great year, but it's fucking Russell Wilson. Like, yeah. No, I'm with you on that.
I'm just, yeah, that's just a thought, when you're considering that number. But
and it's funny.
But I'm there with you. Where I'm like, okay, the Titans were pretty good. Who knows? Actually, man, I'm fucking now. At least you swayed my opinion a little bit now. Where
I'm just playing a little bit of devil's advocate, right? I mean, I'm just saying,
the Rams are right in the middle of the pack with most stuff.
I think it's just everybody gets a little bit swayed by the star aspect of their team.
Definitely, I mean, they were number 11 on turnovers. Let's see,
dude, it's hard not to though. You got Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller, Aaron Donald. We've already touched on all those guys, but
do you want to know who the worst passing defense in the league was this year?
As far as what yards go? Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, isn't that weird? Yeah, because you're on the same thing. But that's crazy. Would you have guessed
they were
that?
Right on the edge of the fuck. And you know who was number 6th worst in the NFL? Kansas City Chiefs. 6th worst in yards allowed in passing, which makes them 25th or 26th or 27th. And
Ravens. No, it's funny is and
the Bengals were right behind the Chiefs.
Exact contrast. The Baltimore Ravens are the number 1 rush defense in the league.
That's so funny, man.
Rams were behind the Bengals in rush defense.
Yeah. Yes, they were. I see that. The Bengals were ranked 5th in the NFL in rush defense. So, dude,
who knows?
It's gonna be. I mean, fuck who knows,
I don't
man.
know. Now I don't know anymore. And
I think I have this, man, it's like just such a. Oh, God, it's just
Weird.
like,
What's a weird number? You can't take 4. You buy points in whatever direction you think you buy points. You
so
take
weird.
the odds. You take the odds and you go fuck it. Like I'm gonna go.
I mean,
like
well,
if you want 4, you want 2.5.
yeah, but if you want 2.5, then you might as well just same game parlay. Cooper Kupp touchdown, Sonny Michel touchdown, Jamar Chase touchdown, Joe Mixon touchdown, Joe Burrow over 230, Matt Stafford over 230. Like you just parlay them all together, and then it'll all hit. I'm just kidding.
I had Joe Burrow.
Not
Burrow
gambling
with
advice, by the way. Not gambling advice.
I had Joe Burrow rushing yards today. That's part of my, and he fucking destroyed that number.
Did he? What was the number?
8.5.
And
he got 30 yards.
Yeah.
He outrushed Elijah Mitchell today, and in opposite games, but he outrushed Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah.
But no, it'll be an interesting game. It's actually very intriguing to see what the fuck this Bengals team is going to do, because I don't think anyone really thought that.
God, I love, dude. I just
nobody played out the scenarios.
Oh my God, dude. Okay. So if I haven't said it 35 fucking times already, bandwagon Alabama fan, and it's like I didn't like Burrow because he beat Alabama, but I can tell you, dude, I've said this to a lot of different people. When he came into Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama as the number 3 team, and Alabama was the number 1 team, or it might have been vice versa. They might have been number 1, Bama was 3 or something like that. When he came into Tuscaloosa and did that, beat them, won the SEC championship by just easy, beat the shit out of Oklahoma, beat the shit out of Clemson, won the national championship, goes to Cincinnati, and everyone's like, oh, fuck, like Cincinnati, like it's where quarterbacks go to die, right? Or like Cleveland, right? Like, everyone goes fucking quarterbacks. Dude, like, oh my God, dude, I love the Bengals, and I love Joe Burrow. Like, dude, there is nothing to not love about them, dude. There's nothing. There's not one thing you can say where you're like, oh, well, this guy, off the field, or this guy's kind of an asshole. Like, Burrow is cocky, and he's kind of a piece of shit in that sense, but he's just not at all. Like, he's so cocky in such a good way. Like, there's never been a guy I've never seen a guy that's been so. I've never seen a guy that's been so cocky and so confident and have his balls dragging on the fucking turf, and also not be an asshole at the same time.
Dude, yeah, it's weird. It's like he's such a stud, but he's kind of goofy.
Exactly.
You know
like,
I mean?
he's like a nerd, but he's not. Like, dude, he's not.
Dude, he shows up to he wears the fucking dope ass clothes. You see him dancing, in the locker room. You're like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. He's like Austin Powers, man. He's the international football man of mystery right now. Like,
seriously, dude.
He's right in front of you, but I can't figure it out. And I watch the NFL every fucking week. I watched him in college. I can't figure out who the fuck Joe Burrow is. Joe Burrow was the fucking quarterback of Ohio State that couldn't start, and they fucking transferred to fucking LSU, and ends up having the greatest fucking college football quarterback season ever.
Ever.
By far. And then comes in the league, tears his ACL. You're like, fucking Burrow. You have these college like you see like Lawrence play for the Jaguars, and you're like, these fucking college quarterbacks. They just get in here. It's just a different level. And Joey B comes in, fucking tears his ACL. You're not sure what's gonna happen. Comes out, he completed 70% of his fucking passes this year. That's ridiculous. Dude, he drops back. He threw for 4,500 yards this year.
Yeah, 34 touchdowns too.
For reference, that's fucking 500 less than that season that we talked about with Mahomes. Where he threw 50.
That's like a game and a half. Yeah,
game and a half. And granted, and I don't know. I think Burrow actually probably did. Did he play 17 games this year?
Regular season. Let's see here.
Did he miss it? No, he missed a game. He for sure, because he sat out. He didn't play that last week.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't play that last week.
He did sit out the last week.
Yeah. So he played 16 games and had those stats, which is what Mahomes did.
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I mean? So it's about a game and a half. Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 used to be the regular season, and that's what Mahomes played in. But I will say.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, no,
he sat out. That's why it's the same.
Yeah, it's the same number, but dude.
But no, it's just fucking nuts, because it's like I really can't put a finger on, like,
God, I love him, man. I love him so much.
He's pretty like swaggy, but he's kind of like,
God, dude,
swaggy, but he's like a nerd.
Dude, the
But he's also just
cigars,
fucking
man,
good.
and
Yeah,
the
cigars.
fuck, man.
That guy makes fun.
He's so good. I love him, man. He's so good. I just like, and
Dude,
that's why everybody's gonna root for him,
he
dude.
he makes cigars look cool. Like everyone, like there's certain guys that like cigars always look cool, and then you light one up for yourself, and you're like, I don't look as cool as that guy.
Yeah, you're like, yeah.
And you're like, like I'm smoking, but he makes that cigar look like, oh,
Dude,
fuck.
and
Like,
I know you
he's
mentioned
literally Joe Cool. Like I would buy if I was a little kid. I was like, I'm gonna inhale cigars by the time I'm 13.
100%.
Because I saw Joe Burrow do it.
You said it, or you talked about his press conference earlier too. The one clip I saw from his press conference, and he said this, dude, every fucking game of the postseason. And they're like, Joe, fucking crazy win, beat the Chiefs, AFC Championship, going to the Super Bowl. Every game, dude, he's like, we're gonna celebrate tonight. We're gonna enjoy ourselves. We're gonna get after it. It's an extremely amazing accomplishment for the entire team, the organization, and we're gonna enjoy this tonight, and then be preparing for the next game tomorrow. Like, dude, it's like, but it's not like when he says it. You know, a lot of guys say that, or like they're so cliche. You're like, okay, like you're gonna prepare for tomorrow. Like you're gonna do like. With him, you're like, I guess he's gonna prepare tomorrow. Like, or maybe, you know, even if he doesn't, and they had a Super Bowl parade right now for AFC Championship in Cincinnati, I'd be like, okay, like that's what they want to do. Like that's a weird thing to do, but I trust Joe Burrow. I just like whatever he wants to do or say, or like he's just handled himself so well. And
He's just cool.
God, he's so cool, man. He's so cool.
I wish he. Yeah, no, it's like fucking like when a quarterback like that gets in the league, you're like, I'm just fucking jealous that he's not on my team.
God, man,
like,
seriously.
Like, when are we gonna get our like? It feels like everyone like so like the Broncos fucking, you know, like there's the talks of us getting Rodgers. It's like, but that's just the fucking Broncos way. Like we had Elway, you know, and that was like the guy that we had that was sick. Like where, like he was our homegrown guy, you know, where he was with us the whole time. But like other than that, we haven't had fucking anyone tight really.
Yeah,
you know, we had Peyton. Peyton had his amazing years here, but he was like a transplant from another team. You know, we had, and like if we get Rodgers, the same thing. We're talking about end of career. Maybe the Broncos make a run at a Super Bowl at some point, you know, over the next couple of years. Rodgers retires, and then what are we back to fucking 7 new starting quarterbacks in 3 years, you know?
Yeah.
Like when like, you know, when somebody gets like a generational guy like that, you're like, God, when am I going to get the one that everyone has his jersey? Like everyone still has the Elway jerseys. Go to a Broncos game. Everyone has fucking Elway jerseys.
Dude,
or Manning.
Man.
Nobody has a fucking Jake Plummer jersey or Brian Greasy. And
100%.
you know what's funny is Jake Plummer might be the best fucking quarterback in between all of them.
Yeah, for the Broncos.
Between Elway, but Elway and Peyton since like basically 2000. Yeah, Elway and Peyton, you know, like obviously Elway was pre-2000, but then you have like this 20-year span. And then it's like you look at the quarterbacks, and believe it or not, that fucking probably the guy that was the most successful was maybe like it was probably Jake Plummer and then like Jay Cutler.
But probably Plummer, yeah.
Yeah, it was probably Plummer. He had a 13-3 season that one year, went to the AFC Championship. I mean, like everybody else has been a fucking pile of dog shit. So
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, well, Jared,
what are we 2 hours deep?
Hour 48. And just going strong, man. But this is definitely by far our longest episode, and we only had 2 games to talk about, man. But it was fucking, man. It's just so good, man. American sports. I can't believe we dealt with no sports, you know, a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Fucking terrible, man. I don't even know what I do.
I
don't even know what I do. Like I get sad. Like you know what I'm actually kind of fucking jealous of. Before we get off, I'm kind of jealous of East Coast sports people. Because like there's times I'm going to bed and I'm looking up some fucking dog shit show I've already seen on Netflix. I'm like, I'm just gonna, you know, like it's not like they're actually dog shit, but you know what I mean. I'm like, I don't know, you know how cool it'd be like on like a Sunday night football just to be starting at 8:30. So you pop into bed at halftime, you're already like kind of peek up, you know, you're just like, oh, you gotta keep up with the game. You know, in that sense, I'm jealous.
They never make like the big game. Like they do Sunday night or whatever, Thursday night football. Like it's late, but like it's not like we're not up till 11. Like of course we're gonna sit and watch the game, right? And like you said, if it's not a great game or it's a Thursday night game between the fucking Broncos and Jets, like dude, I'm just gonna fucking pass out. But the Super Bowl's on at like 7 p.m. Eastern. You know, like that's Like it's on at 5 o'clock.
6 Eastern. I think it starts or 6:30 Eastern. It's 4:30 here.
4:30, right? 3:30 West Coast. Like, I mean, I've always argued that the mountain time is the best time for sports because, like, I mean, there is still, there's some time, and it's like if you like West Coast, the smaller West Coast sports like baseball or college basketball or something, like if you're a fan of, like me, like right here, the Padres, right? They start at 7 p.m. West Coast time, which is 8 p.m. here, but it's like if you're on the East Coast, if you're a guy like me, right, and I got a brand new job in New York City, and I want to watch the Padres play, after first pitch is at 10 p.m. Like that's horrible. That's miserable, right? I mean, but
I don't know. See, my thing is like not every game is going to be at 10 p.m. So like having the option to be like, oh well, like football's over and there's a 10 o'clock basketball game. I'll just throw it on in the background
and just fucking knock.
Just nod off.
Yeah.
Check my phone. Oh, Bam Adebayo's got 8 rebounds.
yeah, that's Steph Curry 3-pointer. Like, yeah.
It's just the same thing as Netflix.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
cool.
now we're
2 hours deep, baby.
Hour 50, man. I'm fired up for this Super Bowl, man. This is a great Super Bowl. Everybody thought it was going to be fucking Chiefs Rams. I thought it was going to be Chiefs Rams. I'm really glad it's not. And if it wasn't going to be like Chiefs Rams, might have been like the most like star-studded, entertaining Super Bowl. But if it wasn't going to be those guys, dude, I would so happy that it's Bengals Rams as opposed to Chiefs 49ers. Like Chiefs 49ers, my opinion, like it's a rematch. I just like, God, it just would have been like, like I don't want to watch that. You know what I mean? But Bengals Rams is like, dude, Joe Burrow, like that's Rams selling out for Super Bowl. It's gonna be fucking great, and
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be so good, man. And we'll get you guys probably another one this week, maybe 2. We'll see. Apparently, Major League Baseball is supposed to do some sort of meeting tomorrow. I don't know. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah,
probably going to be nothing.
If we get some juicy news about it, then maybe we'll record again.
But probably not.
If not, we can do like
we can do a gambling episode,
midweek gambling episode where we do some picks.
We'll do some picks, some cool prop bets because a lot of these books will be offering a lot of cool stuff. So we'll dive into all that. We'll dive into the Super Bowl. But either way, if you stuck around to the very end, we really appreciate you guys. We're trying to get this thing to the moon, right? Just like every other cryptocurrency that you guys have probably invested in at some point. Send it to the moon. Phenomenal Fan podcast, the Phenomenal Fam. We appreciate you guys. And otherwise, Jared, we'll catch everybody else on the next episode later this week. Another episode sometime next weekend. Who knows? Give you guys our picks. And we're fired up. Went a little long, but we love you guys, and we'll keep chatting. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Jared, we'll catch you later.
Let's see it, man.